Today we are going to create artwork inspired by the abstract artist Piet Mondrian. This is one of his pictures. It's called Composition. He did lots of pictures called Composition. Composition 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots and lots of them. You can see it's made up of straight lines, horizontal and vertical, and primary coloured shapes. He's got blue, yellow, red shapes. They're all the primary colours. He's also got some white shapes. Now, all the shapes in this picture are rectangles, but he does sometimes have squares in his pictures. In this one, you can see there's a red square and a black square. So to make our Mondrian inspired artwork, you're going to need a piece of A3 paper, a messy mat, a ruler, and a pencil. Now, you're going to use a pencil to do your lines, but I'm going to use a pen so that you can see more clearly what I'm doing. We're going to start by making our vertical lines. Vertical lines are lines that go from the top to the bottom of the paper. So it's quite important for the purposes of this picture that we get our lines straight. So the best way to do that, the easiest way, is to make sure that the top of your ruler, can you see the top of my ruler here? If I move this down a bit, I'll be able to see better. The top of my ruler there is straight on the edge of the paper. Take your time to get this right to make sure it's okay. Then I can use my pen and come down. Not a great pen, is it? And I'm going to do 3 vertical lines. So again, I'm going to make sure that the edge of the ruler is straight to the edge of the paper and do another vertical line. Now, another way to make sure that your lines are straight is to line up your ruler with the line that you made before. So if your first line's straight, your second line will be straight as well. Now, these lines are all vertical, but they're also all parallel. Parallel lines are lines that follow the same course, always the same distance apart, never touching. So we've got 3 parallel vertical lines. Now we're going to put in 4 horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are lines that go across the paper from one end to the other. So we'll start close to the top. Now again, make sure that you line the edge of your ruler up against the edge of your paper to help you get a straight line and go across. But whoops, I've run out of ruler. So what do I do now? I slide my ruler along to the end. Make sure that I've lined it up with the line that I've already made. Take your time to get it straight and finish that line off. Then I think my next line I'm going to do parallel to this one, but directly underneath. So I'm just using the ruler lined up because these can be a bit closer together, these lines. I don't think I did that quite straight. Doesn't matter if you're a tiny bit out, just try your best. Okay, now my next horizontal line I'm going to do a bit further down. So again, I'm going to make sure that the edge of my ruler is straight to the edge of my paper. Move my ruler across, line it up to make sure that my line is straight, and do another line. And again here. So this week in school we are thinking about how artists use maths in art and some of the maths vocabulary that we would use to describe the artwork. So horizontal lines, lines that go straight across. These horizontal lines are also parallel. That line is parallel to that one. It's following exactly the same course, always the same distance apart and never meeting. But we've got another maths term that we can use to describe what we've done here. Perpendicular. It's a funny word, isn't it? Perpendicular. That is a line that's at right angles to another line. Now, right angle is a straight corner, a square corner. So if I take this square here, you can see that that line is perpendicular to this line. Perpendicular line is a line that's at a right angle to another line, or a square corner. So now we've done that, we can think about adding some smaller lines in. You've created a grid here with 4 horizontal and 3 vertical lines. We've made lots and lots of different squares here, but we're going to maybe make some more smaller sections. So I might put a smaller section in there. Again, it's important to make sure you've got your line straight. So I'm lining my ruler up against the line that I made here to make a smaller box. So I've made another vertical line, but smaller vertical line. I might put another vertical line in here, and again I'm lining my ruler up to make sure that it's straight and putting a vertical line in. So I don't think I'm going to do any horizontal little lines in, but I'll do another vertical one here. If I leave my ruler there, I can do one there and one there. So now I have to decide what colour I'm going to make these shapes. I've got a square there, rectangle there. I think that's the only square that I have. No, there's another square there. So I'm going to use my pencils, coloured pencils, red, yellow and blue, and just try and work out before I start painting what colours I'm going to make these shapes. So I think I'll make that one yellow, so I'll put a yellow dot in it, and I'll make that one yellow, and I'll make that one yellow. Then for red, I'll do that one red, that one red, that one red. I think I'll leave that with red, and then blue, 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 blue. I want to leave some of my shapes white. So now I'm having a look to see, have I got a good balance of colour there? And I haven't got any big shapes that are yellow, I notice. I haven't marked any big shapes that are yellow. So I think I'll do that one yellow. So now I've marked my shapes, I can start to paint. So we've got some liquid paints that we're going to use. These start with the lightest colour, so we're going to start with the yellow. Dip my brush in. And to start with, it's a good idea to go around your lines. I think there's some red already on my brush, making it a bit dirty. I'll try another brush. Go around your lines and then fill it in with a thicker brush if you want to. So use a thinner brush to go around the edges and then fill in with a thicker brush. Same with this one. Doesn't matter if you go slightly off the paper because you've got your messy mat. So take your time, paint carefully, fill in the shapes. Do all your yellow shapes first and then move on to your red. And then your blue, because when you're painting you always start with the lightest colour first. And if you get a little bit of yellow in the red, it doesn't matter. But if you get a bit of red in your yellow, it changes it completely, as we saw there. So you need to be careful. So then, if I wanted to move on to my red, I know I've got more yellow to do, but just to show you different colours. I didn't even need to clean my brush there. I could just go straight onto the red. So you can see already how this picture is starting to look like Mondrian's compositions. Sometimes they'd call them composition in red, yellow and blue, or composition in yellow, red, blue and black. Different variations on the same theme. So I've got my red shape completed. Now I'm not going to carry on because this will take too long and you need to get on with doing yours. But I will just show you that when you've finished your painting, you need to leave your painting to dry for a little bit, and then we're going to finish it off by putting some black strips over the top of the lines that you made. That will make the colours pop out, but it will also neaten up any edges that you've done. So in order to do that, you get the black strip. So I would need to cut that to the right size. Put it on my messy mat. Get some glue. It's a bit hard for you to see because I've got black on black. And then just put glue. You don't need masses of glue, but you do need to make sure that the glue goes all the way to the edges, like that. I'll stick it on a bit where there's no wet paint, so it'll stick better to show you. And stick it over. Make sure you get it straight, that's really important. You took all that time getting straight lines, we need to get straight lines with our black paper. And there you have it. So I'll put some ones across. You can see, look how I've gone over that edge a little bit. It just neatens it up. Okay, have fun making your Mondrian inspired artwork.